Hey everybody, welcome back to Diesel Creek. My name's Matt. They say it's the most wonderful time of the year, and I agree, but that's not because of Christmas, although I do like Christmas. Even better than the big day, though, is Ritchie Brothers auction. I think it's like December 14th. I don't know, I don't have my calendar on my wrist, but I think it's like December 14th. The auction's in a couple days, so we better skedaddle out here to the yard, take a little peek around, see what we can buy that we don't really need. Usually I'm pretty up on my Ritchie Brothers perusing. I have not had much time to get on their website and have a gander at what is out here at the sale, though, so we're both going to be seeing this for the first time together. If you haven't followed me along for one of these auction videos before, it's usually a really big hit or miss on what is out here at the sale, if it's anything I'm interested in or not. Anyways, we're almost there. We'll check it out. And we're here. Oh yeah. Like to see the orange flags a-blowing there. Pretty good selection of pickup trucks and stuff in here today. Couple man baskets. I've always kind of wanted to snag up one of these little Toro Dingoes. I just feel like it would be kind of handy, but they seem to hold their value very well. Pretty chilly out today. It was like, it was in the teens overnight, so a lot of stuff isn't going to want to start today probably. Now, I don't really know what I would use one for, but they just look like fun. We got a couple hammers over here. Never seem to find any hammers in my size. I'd like to find one that would fit the case. That'd be pretty handy. This looks like it could be potentially the right size for the Cabelco, though. These things seem to be all over the map as to what they ever sell for. This thing could sell for $1,500 or it could sell for 10 grand. It's really a crapshoot. NPK GH15. I bought one of these, 2 years ago at a sale. I think I paid $1,000 for it and ended up selling it for like 8 or 10 grand. So those are the kind of paydays you're looking for. Got some of these ground heaters. These are like big giant turbo heaters. I don't know if these are the ground heater types or the duct types. Yeah, that's what I thought. So these are big forced air heaters. These are basically two giant torpedo heaters mounted into this trailer. You can see they got a pile of them, but they're worth keeping an eye on. Sometimes they'll go cheap, and the little diesel engines in them, you know, those are at least worth a few bucks, and you could scrap the rest if you wanted, or just use them for heating stuff up, because they put out some heat, that is for sure. Got some nice big emergency backup generators here. Oh yeah, got some nice ones. I always like these little multi-quip units for some reason. They're usually super quiet. Let it glow plug do its thing. These ones are actually Welder generators. They're not just straight generators. Super quiet. Yeah, 300 amp Welder. Nice little units. Scary part about buying a Welder up here at the sale is that you don't have any idea if it's actually outputting. Yes, it runs, but might not actually make any power. Whew, a couple more big ones too. Jiminy Christmas. Look at the intake on that thing. Or is that an exhaust? Big old Jimmy in it. I don't know if that's a, yeah, I was going to say, I think that's bigger than a 71. That's a 8V92 series Detroit in this thing. Heck yeah. Bet you that sucker makes some power. Big old Onan, Cummins powered. gen set here. Looks like it's just a small cam Cummins. Same engine that was in the auto car. It really amazes me, some of the stuff that people put in the sale. Look at this pile of junk. Who's gonna bid on this? The craziest thing to me is that someone will spend money on this. More money than you could pay me to haul it out of here. Oh yeah, what a palace. Floor's all rotted out of it. You just know there's been mice in every square inch of the walls. What kind of contraption do we got going on here? Trailer mounted something or other. Little John Deere engine on it. Some sort of a tank up here. The engine belt drives some sort of a gearbox with a mount for something on there. I don't know if it's a pump or what. But it looks like she's missing a few important bits. Be worth keeping an eye on this. Probably a good running engine. I'm gonna guess whatever component was mounted here went bad and they pulled it off and never fixed it. But those little John Deere engines are worth a few bucks. Got a 50-gallon fuel tank there. Nice little, I don't know, 5x12 trailer. And this big stainless tank thing. You know what a 2-inch stainless ball valve costs? Quite a bit. Never know. These things are pretty cool if you haven't seen these before. This is a vacuum lift for pipe on a pipeline. So this goes on the end of an excavator. It just dangles where the bucket would be. And then this thing has its own little motor in there. Was it like a 5-horse? This is a Subaru. And it runs a big vacuum pump, and then you remotely control it from the cab. And there's different feet that go on there for different size pipe. These are little units, so they probably don't do more than, I don't know, 10 or 12 inch pipe if I was guessing. But then the operator just lowers this right down on top of the pipe. They hit the button, it engages the vacuum. It tells you when the vacuum is locked on, and then you can just pick up the pipe. And the reason you pick it up that way is A, you don't have laborers to deal with, slinging it with rigging or something. And you're also not taking a chance and damaging the coating on the pipe. I've worked around some much, much bigger versions of these. Pretty neat. And they got a pile of light plants in this sale, that's for sure. I think I have my fill for now. We'll keep an eye on them, because if any of them go cheap, I would maybe still be interested, but I certainly don't need them. And if you think they got a lot of light plants, they've got even more pallet racking. Buddy Sam might be needing some of this. Got a lot of box trailers in the lineup here today. A couple equipment trailers. Not in the market for any of that. We're making our way on down here to my favorite section, the Inoperable section. This is where some of the best deals in the auction are. Got a JLG telehandler here. Looks like it's seen some stuff. I wonder what's going on with that. Ew, yeah. Things aren't looking good in here. The belt's missing. Alternator's missing. Everything's soaked in oil. I'm gonna say we don't need this. I already have a telehandler project I've never finished. A little Takeuchi Mini though. This thing looks decent. I hate that Sunbelt paints all their stuff this putrid shade of green. But the good thing is, when it comes to the sale, even if they strip the decals off, you know exactly who owned it. You know, it could just be the way it's sitting, but it almost looks to me like that front blade is bent a little bit. We've got access panels off for some reason. Cab isn't too terrible. Looks like a couple cylinders leak. Pretty just oily in general. What she got for an engine? Looks like a Yanmar. Yep, Yanmar engine. So those are good engines. I don't see anything obvious back here that would be broken or mangled. There's no rod hanging out the side of the block that I can see. It's got oil. It's always the big question when there's something in the Inoperable section is, why is it in the Inoperable section? I'm not seeing anything obvious. Track's not in the best shape. You can see that whole piece of it missing down there. Whatever that thing is stuck in the track. I don't know, let's see if she's gonna start. Sometimes this stuff in the in-op magically just fires right up and is operable. Yeah, we got no signs of life. Battery must be stone dead. And sometimes that's all it takes. Something comes in with a bad battery and won't even jump start, and it just goes straight into the in-op. I don't know what something like that's gonna sell for. I'm gonna say maybe around 18,000 to 22,000. Not much else in the inoperable that I'm interested in today. A lot of trucks, a lot of big trucks, tractors, stuff that I really don't have a need for. Got some nice new containers in the yard down here. These look like one trip 40 footers. Those usually bring some decent money. I don't think I need any more 40s, but I might be in the market for some 20s. I don't think I need any more 40s, but I might be in the market for some 20s. And there are some of the used 20 footers over there, but they have some contents in them, so we'll have to check those out. Got your semi-trailers here. We got a couple low boys over here to take a gander at. Not that I need a low boy. I try to keep an eye on the prices right now because I have that Trail King that I would like to sell. And I was kicking around the idea of bringing it up here to the sale rather than trying to sell it outright. These oil field low boy trailers are stout. I mean, that sucker is heavy. Got what, 4 axles under it? Yeah, 4 axles. I think this thing's made for transporting those tanks. They'll use a winch truck to back up to the tank and then pull it down onto the trailer and haul it. They're big. Looks like a nice Talbert 35 ton over there though. This is another type of oil field trailer here that you use a winch and actually disconnect the neck, and the neck lays down flat, and then you can drive stuff up onto it. Got some more containers down here at this end of the yard. I'm not sure if these are actually in the sale or not. Most of these look like one trips, but I see at least 1 or 2 somewhat used 20 footers in here. Oh yeah, we got 3 of them there. Maybe 4 20 footers. 20s are nice, they're easy to haul. Modular storage, easy to move. Nothing in these ones, but they're not in bad shape. The door was a bit hard to open. That's something to factor in when you're looking at containers. Sometimes these doors get a little tweaked. More of the same. That's a nice one tripper there. That'll bring some money. And these kind here with the double opening doors on them, or this 40 back here that has 4 side opening doors on it. Man, these things bring a lot of money, but they are nice containers. Very, very versatile. Here's some more containers. These ones are kind of built out inside. You can see they've already got shelving and a workbench and a little partition back there. Somebody got a little rowdy with a loader fork probably. You can tell by the flooring in there, the way that it's plank flooring, it's a pretty old container. They don't do that anymore. Oh yeah, a whole bunch of these older containers. They've since updated the design on these things. These doors aren't built the same way anymore. Again, with the plank on the floor. Looks like this one's got a whole bunch of street signs and stuff in it for road construction. Looks like it's still in decent enough shape for what I would need it for. Ooh, man, a lot of road signs in this one. But it's got some holes in the back there. Somebody's cut into it. Looks like it's rotted down along the bottom there. This one's kind of rough. This is your modern style 20 footer. Looks like it's got a nice floor in it. Metal's all in good shape. It's full of office supplies, I guess. Chairs, desks, roller cabinets. Probably some drawers back there. Hard to say for sure what you're getting in here. It's kind of like buying a storage unit. This one's not in terrible shape. Oh man. All kind of goodies in here. Look, we got life rings for days. PFDs. I'd say this thing was around a bridge or a dam project or something. Something near a body of water, that's for sure. Guess they just cleaned up the yard and sent all these things to the sale. Oh yeah, this one here is pretty valuable. A lot of rigging in here. Got some extension ladders. Whole crap load of these cable clamps. Some small lightweight winches down there. I think those are for I want to say those are something to do with fall restraint systems. I've never really worked around them, but I've seen them. Big suction hoses, yeah. There's, if you had to buy it, there's a lot of money in this container, that's for sure. Hit or miss on what something like that will sell for. Got some more miscellaneous job stuff, concrete blankets, spill containments, fans, banding carts, rigging. A lot of junk. Boxes in decent shape, but not great. Oh, Walsh Construction. I actually worked for them for a time. I'm betting that's where all these came from. Oh, yeah. There's another big Walsh sign. Might have to keep an eye on this one. I think I want this box. Got 3 different job boxes in here. Some roller cabinets. I can't get that open right now. Looks like it's full of tools though. I see some sockets way back in that one back there. Oh yeah. Yeah, we might need to own this one. With those job boxes, that makes this whole container a fair bit more valuable. I'm gonna say this one might go for 4 or 5 grand as well, maybe a little more. We shall see. I might try to put my name on that one. More random job supply garbage, nothing great. There's a couple containers in there I wouldn't mind owning, that's for sure. Log loader truck and a nice little picker truck. Good looking Peter car. A few nice looking trucks in here. Oh yeah. If you haven't noticed, I'm not feeling the best. I'm losing my voice a little bit. Sore throat and all that jazz. So apologize if you can't hear me all that well. Bunch of dump trucks. I don't think we need any of those. But we probably need this guy. Man, who doesn't need a big Panther Maruka? So this guy was set up as a tack rig for a pipeline job. This canopy will actually swing around and go over top of the welders, and all the leads hang down from there for the welders. And there's probably several welding machines in this box if they haven't been removed. There would have been a big generator skid here that ran all the welders. I'm gonna venture to say the welders are probably removed. Yeah, I can see in there, it's empty. You'd have had all your bottles strapped in back here for shielding gas. You can see in from the back here, the welding machines have all been removed. But still a heck of a track truck. I'm sure that this thing is gonna bring a lot of money. I really don't have a clue what these sell for, but they're nice machines. Yeah, they cleaned her out good. Sometimes these things come up to the sale completely rigged up, just like they came off the line. Still got one good grinding disc in here. Man, Pipeline Machinery goes all out. They got their names embroidered into the seat covers. Fancy. I did see this guy as I was driving by the other day, this WA200 Komatsu loader. Seems like a nice loader. It's got the quick coupler on it, nice bucket. I don't know what this thing weighs off the top of my head. I'd have to venture to say it's a little bit heavier than Fat Alice, but it can't be too much bigger. Signs of our furry friends back here. Well, signs of life at least. 7,400 hours. Fired up pretty easy. Traction control system. Oh man. Yeah, this might be too new for us. I don't really want to see anything like that in a loader. I do like it has forward, neutral, and reverse here on the joystick. That's a nice feature. Coupler for the bucket's a little sloppy. Can't say it's horrible, but not great. Something funky going on the front end here. I can't tell what it is. It almost feels like the axle's like shifting in the frame. Weird. I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from this thing, honestly. I don't think I want anything to do with it. You don't see Kawasaki wheel loaders too often around here, but there's been a couple at the last sale, and now there's one here at this sale. Look like decent little loaders though. I think somebody was using them for snow removal or something. Good looking Komatsu 61PX. Nice wide pad, 6-way blade. It's a beauty machine. Oh, somebody's in the old Kobelco. It's got some interesting pads on it, kind of like rounded. ED 150 Blade Runner. That's a nice little machine, actually. That'd be a really good forestry machine. It's a 6-way blade on that thing too. That is neat. That's not a very common machine at all there. Huh. Good looking PC 200. Little gray market IHI 90s excavator here. It's an 80 model, but I'm saying it's from the 1990s, I would guess, or early 2000s. Rode hard and put up wet, but it'd be good for a farmer. You can see it's been sitting a while. It's got moss in the tracks. I'm gonna say this thing's probably, I don't know, $15,000 machine at best. Maybe less. 6,000 hours. She ain't gonna go. No, don't even want to start. Cab's pretty rough. All the pilot control lines are all leaking. That's why there's an oily mess in the cab. The tracks don't look like they're in bad shape. Probably make somebody a decent little home machine or a farm machine. I haven't really been watching my prices. I'm gonna say this is probably 15 grand at best. ECR 58 Volvo. Doesn't look like it's in the best of shape. And another one of these IHI 80 machines. Pretty banged up. Definitely seen some stuff. Been sitting a while as well. You can see it's got moss in it. A bunch of busted glass from the door. No roof on it. Oh yeah, what a unit. These might go cheap. Not even enough jam to try to turn it over. Not a ton of real exciting stuff here today, unfortunately. Pretty disappointed. But check out the cutest little roller that you ever did see. It's like a 52-inch drum or 48-inch, something like that. Cute little bow mag. What's this thing got in it? Briggs & Stratton? Oh, little Deutz in there. Huh. They look really top heavy when they're this small. Like it'll just flop over if you go on any kind of a cross slope. We got one lone little skid steer here today. And it's some little rental fleet machine from Home Depot, I would guess. It's the only place I ever see these little guys. You can tell for sure it's small because as I stand here, I'm taller than the machine. But hey, beats the heck out of a shovel. But I have no interest in it, that's for sure. It's a nice looking truck there. Set up as a rollback. They got 2 or 3 of these newer rollback trucks here. I have no idea the market on these things. I'll be curious to see what these sell for. Both Jordan rollbacks. Both got wheel lifts. Yeah, I have no idea what those are worth. Probably a good little jag of money, I would guess. Boy, just a lot of road tractors in here though, that's for sure. A lot of road tractors. Some of these things are really good looking trucks too. Not my style, but good looking trucks. We're over here in another section of the yard. They used to use this as like the check-in yard. Stuff would come in here and then they would go through and take the pictures and assign it a number. I don't know if they're still doing that or what, but we found some more equipment over here that might be making its way into the sale. Kubota 90 and a Bobcat 300 back there. Big Terex haul truck. Here's another rollback like I was talking about. Looks about the same vintage as the other ones we were just looking at. Good looking trucks. Like I said, I have no idea what those are worth. Very curious on that. Check out this truck. It looks all disproportionate, but but it's in really good shape. It was some sort of a military truck, fuel truck, I guess. Big, huge tank here, and then a pump setup. Yeah, I'd have to do some reading to be able to understand that. It's all mounted on this sweet DM Mac, though, and it's been here for, I think, a couple years now at this point. Something about they can't find the title for it, and they're not allowed to sell it till they have a title. But look how nice this thing is inside. I mean, it's mint. You can tell it's got no miles on it. I've never climbed in here to see what the odometer says, but I'm betting it's low. Yeah, 56,000 miles, and I'd bet you that that's accurate. Seats are darn near perfect. A little bit of rust down here, but nothing bad. Not bad at all. Door shut really nice. I honestly don't know what the heck I would do with it, but I feel like if it ever does come up for sale, it's gonna go cheap, and I wanna own it. Looks like we got a pretty hammered on Bobcat T190. These things are all getting pretty cheap. And a Mustang. I don't even know the model. It's not even a universal style skid steer connector on there, so yeah, these things ain't worth a whole lot these days. I'm gonna say that thing's probably only a couple grand. This 190, maybe 5 or 6 at the most, maybe 8. Check out this old girl. We got here, oh, something that's speaking my language. We got a Jimmy in there. What is this? 53 series Detroit. Oh yeah. This is a 353 series Detroit powered Ingersoll Rand smooth drum roller. And it actually looks to be in pretty decent shape. I don't know if this is in this sale or not, but something like this might end up going cheap enough to try to stick a bid on it. Yeah, it's got nice tires on it. You know, it's got an engine that'll run forever. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that girl. I think if it goes for under 5 grand, I'd probably own it. I think that's about it that I'd be interested in. Whole bunch of tankers in line here. I keep an eye on these things in case they would go cheap enough to just haul over to the scrapyard. But they always seem to bring decent money. These ones here look like they're pretty new, pretty nice. But there's a pile of them here. Well, here we are a few days later on the day of the sale, and I am just perusing through the stuff at the Maryland yard, actually, because Gino just bought a snowplow truck down there. So he's going to be sending a step deck down anyway. So we got a little bit of room on a trailer if we need to. Eyeing up old Johnny Graydoll here. This is the same machine as what I have. So I know it, you know, I know what to look at on him. It's definitely a little rougher than Johnny, but not terrible. Good, solid, reliable, stupid, simple machine. And the one I have has been really good to me. And for $2,500, we got 12 minutes to go. We got to keep an eye on that. I didn't completely fill up my watch list, but you know, some of the stuff we looked at up at the sale, we got these Kawasaki wheel loaders are in here. The Komatsu wheel loader. There's an Ingersoll Rand. We looked at this smooth drum up here. It's already bid up higher than I expected it to go. We're at $4,250 already. I'm not really interested in it for that kind of money. Now, what I didn't expect is there's 2 Komatsu PC200 excavators here at our yard. And you can see 46 minutes to go. We're sitting at 5 grand. Now, I do expect them to go up, but the fact that they're already not higher than that is crazy to me. This one's at $3,750. This one's got 11,000 hours. This one's got 10,000 hours. I mean, they both look decent enough for the money. I mean, that's crazy. I don't need a PC200, but if they don't jump way up, I think I'm gonna have to throw my hat in the ring for that. This little Takeuchi TB260 excavator that we looked at, that was from the Sunbelt fleet. Apparently, it's not inoperable. I don't know why it was back there in that row. It does not come with a bucket or anything, but they listed it as an operable machine. It's only at $5,500 right now, but I don't know. It seemed kind of hammered on, just like these IHI 80s that we looked at. Those things are super hammered on. I mean, beat to crap, and you know, it reflects in the price. $2,300 and $1,900 so far with an hour to go. So we're gonna keep an eye on all that stuff. I did already go ahead and throw a bid on one of these shipping containers down here. This is the one that has those job boxes in it that had the tools in them. So yeah, hopefully you guys can see there. It's that one. So I threw 3,000 on it. I think I'm gonna go up to 3,500 actually, because those job boxes bring a few bucks plus the tools that are in them or whatever. Let's do 3,250. This one doesn't actually go off until tomorrow, so we don't have to worry about that right now. I don't know, I'm gonna keep going down through the list here and seeing what pops up, and if any good deals jump out at me, we're gonna try to snatch them up. One thing you have to keep in mind here with these end of the year auctions is that it is tax write-off season for companies that made good money over the course of the year and they're looking to blow some cash on something to reduce their tax burden. They'll spend a little bit more when it's a write-off time. 3 Genie boomless here. For some reason, this one is sitting at 10 grand, but these other two are only in the threes. I don't really understand why. They all look like they have about the same amount of hours on them, and they're all kind of set up the same. This one here is a little bit nicer, being that it has the adjustable jib on it. 85-foot four-wheel drive, telescopic. That's a big old lift right there. We got 40 minutes to go on those guys, though. Well, butter my biscuit. Somebody bid on it. $55 with 4 hours to go. Can't believe somebody wants to buy that pile of crap off this trailer, but what do I know? Well, it's a few days later, the auction is wrapped up, and I managed to get my sticky little fingers on a few more lots. So, jumping in the pickup truck here and heading up to Ritchie Brothers, gonna see what we can do about getting them home. Well, if you guys have any good guesses on what you think I managed to purchase here at the sale, I want you to drop a comment down below and let me know before we pull in here because, well, we're pulling in here. Time to go pick up our treasures. Seems like every time I come up here to pick up my lots, it's raining and nasty out. Maybe once during the summer you'll get a nice hot day or something, but seems like it's always just a muddy, wet mess. No matter, the holiday spirit's gonna carry us through today. We got presents, last minute Christmas presents. I think the wife is really gonna like this one. We got us a Connex box. Not one, not two, not three, but four. 4 Connex boxes. This one here has some office supply stuff in it, but you can only see like the first third of it. I have no idea what's in the back of this thing. So it's kind of gonna be fun to do a little unwrapping, if you will, early Christmas present unwrapping, dig through there and see what all we got. Same thing with the green one, not this one, but the one behind it is the one with all those toolboxes in it. I managed to snag that one up and I'm really excited to dig through that one. We got treasures. We don't even know what we got yet, but treasures. Well, there's one on the ground. 3 more to go. I'm sticking them up here by the shop right now so I can pull everything out of them, go through them, and then once we have that sorted out, we're gonna relocate them. Some of these might be for sale, I don't know. I got some buddies that have been looking for boxes, so yeah. I don't necessarily need to have 35 sea cans here, but they are pretty darn handy. 4 in a row, ready to go. Which one do you guys want to explore first? I kind of opened that door there and peeked in a little bit. I think there might be some treasures hidden at the back of that one. I really can't tell what all's in there. I know one thing, picking them up, that one was the heaviest, and that's the one with office equipment in it from what I can tell. So I guess it's heavy desks. I don't know, filing cabinets, who knows? But we've got some mystery boxes to unload here. In addition to these 4 Connex boxes, I did also snag a light plant for my buddy Dommy. I think we paid $800 for that, somewhere in there. And this tow dolly, so this is a 5th wheel tow dolly. I believe you can use these on the road for like pulling double trailers, stuff like that. Not what I'm going to use it for at all. I basically just wanted it for, in the future, I'm planning a big yard reorganization here, and keeping some of these van trailers is nice for storage purposes, but getting them wedged into places for permanent storage is a bit difficult. And one of the trailers I have doesn't have any landing gear on it. It's all snapped off. Actually, 2 of them are like that. So this tow dolly will help get it into places and also support it and keep it there for a while. So I don't even remember what I paid for that, $450 maybe? I figured it was handy enough to justify, and if I ever don't want it in the future, easy enough to turn it around and probably sell it for that much again. I guess I'll show you the light plant real quick, even though it's not for me. Local rental company stuck it in the auction. We haven't tried it yet. They sell them. They don't really say whether they work or not in the auction, so I guess he picked a winner. Runs good, no smoke. Yeah, hard to argue with that. Says it's got 4,400 hours on it. I don't know if I believe that. Let's see if the lights work. Bogged the engine down, so it's doing something. Oh yeah, she makes power. For 800 bucks, Dommy got a win. Not too bad. Lights are coming on and working. Yup. There's a lot of stuff in there. Probably a lot of stuff I don't need. I mean, right off the bat though, there is some cool stuff in here. Some of these roller chairs, definitely nice to have in the shop for rolling around, doing whatever. Got some waiting room chairs, you know. If I ever open up a doctor's office, I got a head start on the waiting room chairs. I did legitimately need some of those folding chairs for the house and the shop. There's, it's like somebody's whole desk just got packed up and thrown in here. It's like a receipt scanner here. Oh, there's a laptop right there. Lenovo laptop. Those are pretty good laptops, I think. I don't know. Huh. Well, I don't know how old it is, but that might be decent. I don't have a clue. Computer monitors, whole crap load of rolly chairs. Decent looking like tables, and I guess you could say they're desks. I don't know. Let me grab a flashlight and we'll climb to the back and see if we can see what else is in here. Oh yeah. Yeah, this was an entire job office trailer that just got loaded up and hucked in a sea can and then for some reason sent to the auction. There's a crap load of styrofoam drinking cups in here. I can't tell what else. There's some big, looks like filing cabinets here in front of me. Pretty excited about that because I was actually looking for that style of filing cabinet. They're kind of expensive. I hope they're still good. There's a whole bunch of these flat screen monitors just hucked in here. Hopefully they haven't got destroyed. That is a toolbox tray for a WeatherGuard toolbox. Well, that'd be cool if those are in here somewhere. Well, I've shimmied my way almost to the back of the container here, and so far nothing exciting, unfortunately. The best thing I'm seeing down here is that cabinet right there, that cream colored one. It says Sentry Safe on it, so it must be some sort of a fireproof filing cabinet. Not that I necessarily need one of those, but more exciting than a typical filing cabinet, I guess. I can't tell what it is yet for sure, but this guy here has a bit of a curved top to it. And it looks like a cabinet, but I've never seen a cabinet with a curved top on it like that. the big mystery. Looks like a pretty decent paper shredder way down there. And just some other miscellaneous cabinets here I'm climbing on top of. And man, just all the styrofoam cups. Why does an office need this many styrofoam cups? I mean, there's just like 6-8 boxes of them in here. Why? How much coffee do you drink? It's a bit of an out-of-place object in here. Got this black suede chair, and it looks like there's a snail attached to that chair, but everything's very dry in here. It's not an environment you'd imagine you'd find a snail. I imagine it's dead, but it's still hanging on there. Well, I don't want to say I'm disappointed. It's just not any big surprise happy endings like I was hoping was in there. I was hoping maybe we'd find something cool in there, but it's about exactly what I expected, so I guess I can't say I'm disappointed, but yeah, just no surprises. Let's keep moving down through here. Who's gonna clean this up? Definitely some more goodies in here that are a bit more applicable to our normal line of work. Looks like a chain sling. Never seen one rigged up quite like this. Yeah, that's interesting. It's just got 3 loops on it and they're all attached together. Huh. Well, I'm sure it'll come in handy eventually. Some brass ball valves in here. Sewer line, buried sewer line tape. This is one of these big heater hoses, like I was talking about for those big diesel powered heaters, the almond ones. These are like thermite welding tools. Interesting. Wonder what they were doing in here. Looks like some pretty decent pressure washer hose for like steam jennies or something. Some hammer bits, jackhammer grease, pipe pluggage, a dial indicator that's probably pretty well foobarred from being on the ground, but it's a Starrett. That's a good one. Was a good one. Yeah, lots of miscellaneous nuts and bolts. They're probably going to end up as scrap. These are Acme thread. There's concrete anchors, cable clamps. Those are handy to have. I got some waders. More airline down there. We've got a whole crap load of life vests and personal flotation devices. I don't know what this thing is. Something to do with trench boxes. Some sort of a pump here. Something to do with trench boxes. I don't know. Might have to call Gino on that one. I can't tell, but I feel like there might be some good stuff buried here underneath all these life preservers. Heck of a fire extinguisher. There's a box of brand new lanyards and harnesses. These are perfect for the man lift. Everybody was complaining I didn't have one of these for the man lift, and well, I probably still won't wear it if I'm being honest with you guys, but I have them. So many life preservers. Oh, another load here, boys. Oh, we really hit the mother load. This is... Oh, yeah. A whole case of Marmac gold tie wire. Oh, man. If you're in construction, you know that this stuff is so handy. And the gold stuff is the Cadillac. Oh! Not just one case. How many cases is that? Holy cow! That is a lifetime supply of Marmac gold tie wire. I know what all my blue collar buddies are getting for Christmas. That's the good stuff. Oh yeah, check that off the list. Looks like some sort of a tar seal paper sort of thing. I don't know what that is, but it looks handy. Like a flashing. Whole box full of these. Do any of you guys know what that is? There's like a screw thread on this side and a hex on this side. Never seen anything quite like that. Flange gaskets. Lifting anchors, these are nice. The original thing I said we hit the jackpot on was fire extinguishers. I've been meaning to get some fire extinguishers for the shop, and, well, scratch that off the list as well. Oh, sweet. That's a nice big chain come along. I don't know what that's rated for, but it's got to be a fairly good bit. 6 ton. Heck yeah. That's beefy. Oh, I've wanted one of these too. I almost bought one of these yesterday. We were at a tool store and there was one of these. It looked pretty rough, but this one does too, so I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be salvageable, but we're going to try. That's what's commonly referred to in the industry as a hell dog. It's like a one-handed jackhammer. You can fit those in all kind of tight places, and they work pretty good. They pack a serious punch. A few other random goodies in here. This is a pintle hitch for a truck and more life preservers. Looks like some discharge pump hose down there. I'm sitting on a roll of straw matting. It's what I would call Curlex. That stuff's nice to have. Some sort of lifting apparatus. There's quite a few of those things in here. Those are some serious eye bolts, huh? Good gravy. Ooh, what are these things? Oh, there's a nice big impact socket. 2 5/8 3/4 drive impact socket. That's 1-inch drive. It's been welded on, unfortunately, but I think we can cut that back out of there and use it for its intended purpose. 2 of these guys, they look like some sort of a panel lifting device or something. I'm not entirely sure what those would lift. But I am 100% sure that they would cost a lot of money if you had to go buy them new. 2 of those in stock. I think that's about it for this box, guys. There's definitely some goodies in here. I didn't really think this box was going to have too much treasure in it, but man, that gold tie wire and the fire extinguishers made this whole box worth it to me. That tie wire is expensive. If you buy a whole case of that, man, I don't know what it costs, but it's not cheap. Well, just cracked the door on the 3rd container here, and I literally barely looked at this one. I know I can see a bunch of concrete blankets and tarps. And I already have a bunch of concrete blankets from auction deals past, so probably end up giving those to my concrete buddy because I don't need any more of those. Let's start making our way through this thing. What treasures did we buy? Right off the bat here, I did see this because it was right at the front. It's like a brand new industrial barrel cart. And I've actually been wanting to get one of these, but they're very expensive if you want to go buy one. And I knew someday I'd find one for free, or it would include with something like this, and sure enough, patience pays off. Another thing I immediately noticed was this banding cart. This is another one of those things that I knew that eventually I would find for free or next to free. But last year I needed one in a pinch, so I bought all the stuff. Now I have 2. But the steel banding's very nice for like palletizing things and storing it away or shipping it or whatever. This steel banding's extremely strong. I think we might have really scored with like all these sea cans because there's a lot of good stuff the more I'm looking in here. I just looked at this bucket. It's full of brand new nuts and bolts, still in the boxes. That's pretty cool. Some of these big lifting lugs. Now, I mean, the odds of me needing this specific size thread or whatever is pretty slim, but when you need them, boy, do you need them. Got a nice big roll of brand new heavy plastic. I don't know if you've bought a roll of heavy mill plastic lately, but it is not cheap. Like 150 bucks, I think. Maybe a little more than that now. Got a real nice big heavy commercial fan here, but it's pretty rusty. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but probably will. Fertilizer spreader. Oh, boys. This Connex ended up turning out to be a treasure trove, way more than I expected. And it's nothing that's crazy high dollar value or anything, but just a lot of good stuff in here. Whole bunch of concrete blankets, first and foremost. I'm giving those to my buddy that does the concrete because, yeah, I have a few already and I don't need 35 more of them. Got some professional grade, like forced ventilation fans down here for working in confined spaces or whatnot. I got some buddies that do that kind of work. I'll give that stuff to them if they can use it or try to sell it or whatever. Good concrete sprayer down there. not one, but two multi-quip concrete vibrators. There's the ends for them, and then the motors are these two little yellow units there. Big roll of heavy plastic, whole bunch of pipe insulation up there, some 2-inch ratchet straps, whole bunch of cable clamps and turnbuckles, a whole bunch of good blue tarps and gray tarps and yellow tarps. Huge heavy extension cord up there. There's a little snatch block behind that. A whole crap load of nice cable slings, hooks, shackles. Got a barrel top funnel down here, some welding lead, floor dry. You guys already saw the barrel cart, the banding cart. A couple suction hoses down there, another big cable sling down here. There's some concrete chutes over there for like placing concrete. And then the big thing that was at the very back and bottom here that I didn't expect is those are all dehumidifiers. There must be, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 10 dehumidifiers back there. They all look like they're in really nice shape. I wouldn't mind keeping 1 or 2, but man. Well, we have explored our way through 3 out of 4, and now the very last one here is the one that I was most excited about. So I guess let's dive on in and see what we actually got in here. I apologize if the light is flickering in the video. It's not flickering here in person, but sometimes the LED lights do a little bit of flickering on camera. Well, I can see largely what's in here, and that's part of the reason I was excited about this container is because you got these big job boxes in here. There's actually 3 of them, and 100% my fault. I should have inspected these things better because this lid on this first one here is jacked up. Not horrible. I mean, it's still a nice box, but definitely damaged. I was thinking they were in much better condition. From what I can see of that one, it's not horrible, and the third one looks like the lid's missing entirely on it, so that's great. Didn't notice that when I was here. But I have not been able to get back there. I can't see what all is back there. Looks like lots of small stuff, lots of tooling. Stuff that might have a good value to me or others. So that's the name of the game here. I'm trying to find value in this stuff. Outside of what the sea can is worth, I'm trying to find value in the stuff in it. That's why I was able to pay what I did for these. Normally for just an empty box, I would not have spent as much as I did on these units. Oh no, the filing cabinet is locked. 6-inch test plug. I don't understand why just that drawer is locked. Doesn't feel like there's much in it anyhow. Now, surely you guys don't want to sit here and look at every single little thing in all these bins and boxes, but, you know, we've got, looks like a big water regulator here, pressure regulator, some sort of filter, a whole bunch of radios, some grease tubes, miscellaneous stuff, non-flammable gas stickers, DeWalt 25-foot tape. We're gonna throw that one in the garbage. She's pretty well pooched. Finally, the thing I've really been wanting to dive into here. Oh yeah! Yeah, the hinge is in poor shape here. Got one of these nice, looks like a 10-pound bash hammer. They cut the handle, unfortunately, but these are still a really nice hammer. This is what I was excited about. I could see some of this when I was previewing this container, but there is a whole bunch of these big wrenches in here, which jumbo wrenches, especially good ones, are quite expensive. Looks like most of these are Wright brand, which I love my Wright wrenches that I have. These are a thicker pattern because they're jumbo wrenches. And unfortunately, they got a bit rusty. But it doesn't affect their performance. So I've got quite a bit of those in here. Big sucker here. Might not be a good name brand one, but it's like 2.5 inch. Yeah, 2.5 inch wrench there. China. But most of those look like it's a Wright set. There's a bunch of these guys. These are hammer wrenches, so you put these on something and you just beat the crap out of it with that sledgehammer we found earlier. And you can really tighten or break things loose with that guy. Bunch more wrenches. These spud bar wrenches are always nice. Nice set of rubber gloves. These are really good for the solvent tank. Yeah, just a whole lot of wrenches here in this drawer. Some smaller ones over here too. These are also Wright, I believe. Yep. Yeah, these are Wright grip wrenches. These are the same kind I keep in the shop. My favorites. What else? Got a level, rebar bending tool, or anything bending tool. Anchor lube. I keep this stuff in the shop as well. This is really nice cutting compound. This is the best stuff I've used. A few bottles of that. Some sort of Hilti adhesive for concrete. A bunch of nice big taps up here. Seems like this job was doing something with big piping and they had to bolt a bunch of valves or something. So you'd keep taps and wrenches like this on hand so you could clean threads or whatever. But yeah, there's not a ton, but a handful of nice big taps up there. More of these lifting lugs. Bunch of extension cords. Nothing too fabulous down here. Looks like a garden hose or two. A couple extension cords. Torch tank, pretty well empty. All in all, not a bad haul in this box. I think those wrenches are probably worth at least a couple $100. Shame that they're so rusty, but they, like I said, they'll still do the job. Down here in the bottom of this box we have another big Bosch hammer drill. I think I have that same model already. Oh, that's a concrete anchor gun. So you actually like load these. It has like a shell in it, just like a real gun would. And it'll drive those nails into concrete. That's pretty cool. Don't have one of those. Gonna need one actually for my boiler project. New SDS bits for the Bulldog. Another hammer drill. Worm drive skill saw. Never actually owned one of those. That'll be cool. Moving onward here though, there is just a ton of stuff scattered everywhere. Oh my goodness. Yes, I can see some goodies up there, but you guys gotta wait till we get to them. Ah, look at that. Here's a Skookum chain wrench right there. Nice big rigid chain wrench. I have one bigger than that, and man, it's handy, but it is heavy. So having a little bit smaller one like this is gonna be really nice. It's like a 28 inch or a 30 inch chain wrench. Those are expensive if you go look that up. Those are a couple $100. We got a DeWalt metal chop saw down here. Whole bunch of zip ties brand new in the bag there. Whole bunch of SDS bits, drifts and wedges and stuff in there. Bunch of big, maybe 1 inch hardware in there. More SDS bits. We're gonna have to clear a path to get back to the last job box here. All right, I've made my way back as far as I can here to the back without spending a whole lot of time picking up and cleaning up. But there is an absolute crap load of really nice heavy-duty Wilton C-clamps. I mean, that one is huge. There's a couple bridge clamps in there, which is those extra heavy flange ones. I already have a fair bit of those, but you can't ever have too many. A couple transit rods, big pipe wrench, a whole bunch of discharge hose. The discharge hose goes to this big sump pump over here. There's a 2-inch electric sump pump. I've kind of been wanting to buy one of those too, and I just figured someday I'd come across one. Well, bam, there we go. I don't know if it's any good, but we're gonna find out. A few more pipe wrenches in here. This big, I'm guessing it's a Wright brand. Yep, big 1-inch drive, Wright ratchet to go with our Wright socket setup here. Whole bunch of big Wright 1-inch drive impact sockets up here. Looks like it's a real mixed bag of nuts as to sizes and whatnot, but that's a big sucker there. That's 3 1/8 right there. That's a serious socket. Oh, look at that. That's a concrete screed, an aluminum concrete screed. I wish I had that when we did the boiler pad. I don't know if it's quite long enough. Yeah, it looks like it's about a 12-footer at least. That would have been enough. What else do we see back here? I see a chain fall, another concrete vibrator, come along up there on the wall, a whole bunch more cable slings and rope. Also a bunch of nylon slings back there on that shelf, and maybe some other rigging around the corner there I can't see on the back side of the box. Let me try to pick up the pathway here and make a path for me to walk through here, and we'll go back and check. Can't quite see everything, so I'm going to pick up some of this stuff off the floor here and see if we find any other goodies in this mix. I see a couple more hell dogs back there too. Sweet! Man, it just keeps getting better and better, guys. I picked up the floor here. I can actually see what I'm walking on now. And first of all, the C-clamps. My goodness. I could see there was a bunch, but I didn't realize there was this many. Look how many bridge clamps. These are what I was talking about. These real heavy suckers. I mean, you don't bend those. Those are some serious clamps. I already have quite a few of them, but man, I've got quite a few more now. Good selection of those. These guys are nice clamps too. These are Wilton brand. I've almost bought some of these in the past. Unfortunately, everything in these containers has gotten pretty rusty. I'm gonna have to soak these. They're all stuck right now, but they'll come back around, no big deal. There's even this 5-gallon bucket loaded up with more smaller Wilton clamps. But like, none of these are cheap junk either. They're all good Wilton brand clamps. Top here, I've got some big, I think these are stainless eye bolts. Don't know that I'll ever have a use for those. There's some grade sticks up here and a concrete. And that guy's a concrete broom for putting a broom finish on concrete. I wish I had that as well whenever we did the boiler pad. That would have been nice. Can you identify what these things are? I've never seen these before. They go down, obviously, you can see they thread down there, and they look like they're designed to like bend or cut something over top of this bar. You can see I ran this one all the way down so you can see how it engages that bar. But I don't know what the heck those are for. In the process of cleaning up here, I also found another one of these 2-inch electric submersible pumps, so that's pretty cool. We could already kind of see in here before, there's a whole bunch of web slings in here. Those are awesome. I use those all the time in the shop, and once we have a crane in the shop, I'll really use those a lot. Some more cable slings, some lighter ones that are more manageable, so that's good. I told you guys that there was a chain hoist over here. I didn't realize there's actually 2 chain hoists over here. Got one right there, and then this guy is a 10-ton rated chain hoist. I pray that I'll never need that thing, but man, if you did, it'd be nice to have. And not only did we find a chain come along over here as well, there is one chain come along wedged in there amongst all these other cable slings, and at least one more down there inside of this this bag. So 3 chain come alongs. None of those are cheap. Down here on the very bottom, oh, there's another bridge clamp I missed. A big one too. There are, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 hell dogs down here on this bottom, and these ones look like they're in better shape than that one that we found in the other box, so pretty excited about that. Bunch more garden hose, and then I don't know what the heck this thing is over here, but it says hydro test on it, hydrostatic testing. I don't know exactly what that box would be used for, but I'm betting it costs a pretty penny if you need one. Couple buckets hiding back here. They're full of miscellaneous random tools and a good handful more USA made wrenches. Hard to argue with that. I was at a big tool store yesterday and I almost bought a few. You can never have enough shackles because they're always going missing or you end up leaving them on something. It's just nice to have extras. We should have ourselves pretty well covered up for quite a while. I didn't check this bucket yet. What is in this bucket? Drum roll, please. Oh, sweet. More sockets. More big impact sockets. Very nice. Looks like there's also some of these cartridges here. This is what runs that Hilti gun that I was showing you guys that'll drive the nails into the concrete. This is like the little shot shells that you load into that gun. So, yeah, ram set. That's the word I was looking for. Man, I am pretty darn excited about this thing, though. It's safe to say that I'm very, very happy with how this has turned out. We got a whole bunch of tools and rigging and goodies and goodness in this box. A bunch more supplies, goodies and goodness in this box. More of the same in this box. And, you know, I bought this one. It's the nicest container of the 4. This container itself is the one that's in the best condition. If I'm going to end up keeping any of the actual boxes, this would be the one I keep. Not saying the stuff that's in this box isn't good stuff or valuable in any way. It's just office furniture doesn't really get me, you know, worked up and excited here. All in all, I think I did pretty darn good on the 4 of these. Now for the next probably day or 2, I'm going to be in here cleaning things out, sorting, moving things around, organizing, and trying to figure out exactly what I'm keeping, what I'm selling, what I'm giving away, what I'm throwing away, what I'm burning, you know, all that jazz. But such is the auctions. Well, guys, it's been a long day, and it is time to finally wrap up this video. I am tickled to death with the deals we got at the sale. I think we did really good this time. I think I got a lot of bang for my buck, so if you would, drop a comment down below. Let me know how you think I did. If you like following along with me to the auctions, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below on the video. It really helps out the channel, doesn't cost you guys a dime, and it lets me know that you guys like to see these kind of videos. If you would like to help support the channel in a little more direct fashion, you can always head on over to dieselcreek.com, pick yourself up some sweet swag over at the store. That's dieselcreek.com. Link, as always, down below in the description there. But until the next time, guys, I want to thank you for watching. As always, I'll catch you later.